Good evening. We're back in VP4 and well, this looks like a no contest. This is a one-loss side match in this year's 9-ball World Masters. Larry, having been beaten last night in a match that ended up a fair bit closer than what it looked like against semi-pro, Larry's now playing Joao Pereira, and Larry's up 6-0 in this race to 11. So Larry looks to have it an awful lot easier in this match. Joao, I honestly don't know the chap. I've never seen him before. He's from Portugal. May well have been just a new visitor to VP4 during the COVID lockdown. But Larry has missed the 7, and so clearly Joao is a very new player to VP4 by the looks of it, and at first guess he's got quite a lot to learn, but he couldn't have faced any tougher opponent than Larry though, and he's got a tough one here, and he's going to hang the 8. So he's really going to struggle to get a rack on the board here. Larry's going to finish plumb on the 9. I don't know if anybody's joined already. This is just unexpected, this match. It wasn't scheduled, but Larry and his opponent have arranged it. It started a little while back, and I just managed to get up and running to catch some of it. Good evening. Can you confirm what the audio is like? Because earlier on this afternoon, my headset that I normally use, I caught my foot in the cable, yanked it out the front of the PC, snapped a USB connection on the headset, and also broke the USB in the front of the PC. And I'm now in my emergency old Logitech headset, which I'm using, and I'm now one USB short on my PC. So I haven't had a chance to test out the audio quality on the stream. This was just an emergency setup. And what's the sound of the game like? Is my audio drowning out the game, or is the game drowning out my audio? Audio is dull, no bass at all. Well, it's an old Logitech headset I've got now, as opposed to my Turtle Beach ones. Let me take the little muff thing off the end. I took the little sponge, you know, whatever you call it, the sort of, you know, the fluffy things you get in proper microphones. Well, you've got a sponge one on the end of my original headset. I'll take it off this one. Does that make it sound any different, or is it no change? The game sounds very quiet. Well, it's going to take a bit of tweaking. I'll maybe up the balance of the game for the next stream that I do. As I say, I was just throwing things together. Hang on a minute. Right, well, I've put the little muff thing back over the mic, so we'll just have to bear with it for the time being. And meanwhile, Larry is cruising to victory here. Well, he's gone a bit straight in the 7-ball, but I think he can just have a blast and put a bit of forward momentum on it. But again, he's missed. That's the 2nd ball he's missed using the power. See, you think the voice is very loud. It's just a matter of getting the balance right. Just give me a second. I don't know whether this will actually change it in the game. I think it probably means I would have to restart XSplit. Hang on a minute. Right, I've upped the balance of the game. I don't know whether that's going to make any difference at all. I think I probably have to restart for it to take effect, but well, we'll just live with it for now. It's not going to be long, this stream anyway, so we'll only be here 10 minutes if anything. But Joao has managed to pinch that rack off Larry, so at least he's not disgraced. He's got himself off the mark, and well, again, the main goal is just to win a couple of racks more than anything. But he's probably going to have to rely on Larry making one or two more mistakes like that. In actual fact, if he's going to win a rack, I think Joao's probably, again, no disrespect to him, not having seen him before, but he's probably way out his depth as far as running a table's concerned. We'll give him the benefit of that. Good evening, welcome to everybody that's joined. If you missed it last night, I managed to get Stubbs' match against Mooncake, and I didn't know that Semi-Pro and Larry had set their match last night. Well, you already know the result of the Semi-Pro Larry match, but it's up there on YouTube if you want to watch it at any point. It turned out a slightly better score than what we all thought it was going to be. Did the balance change when I adjusted the audio there? Well, Mr. Richard Mooncake, you should have been at least 4, if not 5 racks better off in that match. I think everybody that watched it would agree. I mean, even a conservative award, I would give you 4 racks at least that you should have won, and that could have made that match an awful lot closer and put the pressure on Stubb. And because Stubb was doing his usual, you know, when he's not under pressure, he's going to just lash out at shots, and then of course on another night you may well have taken some of those chances and made it a lot closer than what it ended up being. Now, that's what it's all about. You know, he won't do that often when he gets a much more stronger opponent. He most certainly won't do that. He lashed out at a fair few, and he'll get punished later on in the tournament if he does that. So Larry is 7-1 up, keeping it tight. Now let's see if Joao's got any sense of safety here. Well, that's just going to tee it up for Larry. If it doesn't go in, and it's gone in, he's got the bank. Yep, that's the worst thing about the alternate break, is that as soon as you fall behind, even if you make the odd error and you lose a rack that you should have won, once you go 2-0 behind, or 3-1 behind, you're always then chasing your tail the rest of the match, and you are relying on your opponent to make mistakes. But you've got to take advantage of that big time. It's even more important that you do that when it is alternate break, because chances might be few and far between. And as soon as you have that gap against you, and then it's the other way around, once you have that gap in front, the pressure's on your opponent because he's chasing you, and that's going to make a big difference. Plus the fact the jump queue isn't there, and the jump queue is a great escape for a lot of these top players. They use it quite productively, so they do. And now they're going to have to work out their kick shots, and pick the angles better rather than taking the easy option and playing the jump shot. So Larry now moves on to 8. Joao breaks off. Now I think he must be breaking with a house cue, is he? I never saw there, I never quite saw, but it was a soft break. The house cue doesn't give you much of a break in terms of power. In fact, I never even noticed what cue Joao has. Let's have a look. Well, I've never been a good jumper. I'll jump out of desperation, but you know, with no clear-cut plan when I'm jumping. It's just my objective when jumping is to hit the ball that I'm trying to hit, and that's it. So Larry is going to have a wee bit of work to do here, and I think he might have gone a wee bit too far. Let's have a quick look. Yeah, he might try and knock this one off the 6 ball. If he hits it hard enough, he could get an edge, but he's looking to, well, I don't know what he tried there, but Larry's not really that bothered. I think Larry's already assessed the situation and decided that Joao's probably unlikely to run out here. Well, I say this every time about Larry. He just sticks his neck out too far too often when he should be playing a decent safety shot. You know, it's in his blood. That's the way they play 9 ball. And he's had a lot of his success when doing it, but more and more lately it's doomed to failure, especially in these big tournaments. And again, of course, you add in that alternate break, it puts more pressure on him to be even more aggressive, so it's a vicious circle. Well, Joao almost pinched a rack there, but he's missed a cut into the middle, and Larry will go for the bank. If he doesn't get it sweet first time, he'll get the double bank here. Yeah, Larry's part of it is that, like me and like many others, age is catching up with us. The old eyes are beginning to go. And Larry still, I presume Larry still uses that trackball mouse, which I think is his undoing. I think he should get a decent mouse rather than a trackball mouse, because I think he'd have far better touch using that mouse than he would a trackball. It's a bit like a golfer, you know. They have or a snooker player. You know, you have a cue, or you have a set of golf clubs, or you have a putter that you like, and then you decide you're going to try something fancy. I think Larry's maybe a year or two older than me, or maybe around about the same age, around about mid-50s anyway, at least. Yeah, what I'm saying is that, you know, golfers change their clubs, they change the putter, and they'll go for weeks with a different putter because somebody's told them this putter's good for this, that, and the next thing, and then they'll revert back to the old putter. Snooker players, when they lose their cue that they've played for years, it changes their game. And Larry's stuck with this trackball mouse. He swears by it, but I am still of the opinion that his touch. I mean, how many times does Larry get himself out of shape because he doesn't have that 100% confident touch that you need to actually get good position and keep control of the cue ball. I still think you do it a lot better with a normal mouse. Well, I don't have any advice on mice because I've got about 10 different mice lying around, and I still revert back to my old Microsoft laser mouse, a Microsoft 1000 mouse that's about, it's got to be at least 12 years old, and I still use it. and I've got a weird setup that I have in my head for virtual pool. I have two mice that I use. One that I predominantly use for playing snooker, which I don't play that often, and which is a Logitech laser mouse. Again, it's at least 10 years old, and I've got two of them, two of the same mouse. One is a backup because the other one the feet are starting to wear. And then this old Microsoft 1000 notebook micro mouse, or mini mouse if you want to call it that. It's not a tiny thing, but it's a wee one that my hand can go right over the top of it, and I use it for playing the American games in this game, 9-ball and cowboy. I call it my cowboy mouse. But Larry's got to the hill, and this match will be over in a little while. Well, I've had a fair few big Logitech mice. I've had probably one of the first mice that came out in Logitech that had weights in it and all of that shit. And it's packed in. It was a good mouse though. I did like it, but it was a big clunky thing. I don't like big clunky mice, big gaming mice for VP4. I like a mouse where my whole hand goes over the whole mouse. If I put my hand on my mouse, you can't see the mouse on the mouse mat. All you can see is my hand cupped and all my fingers, but you cannot see the mouse. You can only see the cable coming out between my first finger and my middle finger. I'm just so used to the much more compact mouse. But the secret with mice is dialing them in, is messing about with them, and messing about with the sensitivity, not in your mouse, but in the game. A lot of mice now have got 3 or 4 different DPI settings, but it's all about adjusting that sensitivity and practice, and spending time tweaking it so that you've got that touch. You'll know when you've got it because you'll be much more confident in playing certain weighted shots. That's if you want to put that sort of effort in. So Larry, just going to roll this 6-ball in and roll to the side rail. Nothing spectacular. And this match is over, provided he can get on to that 9. And I would imagine he's just going to do a sort of soft draw, try and get up to the middle pocket and take out that 9-ball. Well, I think any other matches that are scheduled for tomorrow, and I probably won't get them because I'll be in bed quite early, back to work on Friday. So Larry is through to the next round on the one-loss side. I don't know who he's scheduled to play because I don't have the bracket up. And I say there doesn't seem to be any matches for later on tonight, unless some guys inadvertently decide to play it, in which case I'll be here. I'm off work tomorrow and then back on Friday, and I'll be up at 2 AM Friday morning, so unfortunately I don't have enough time to get very many matches, and I'll get the odd one or two if I can. But until we meet again, it was short and sweet, guys. Take care, look after yourselves, keep your distance, and we hope to see you again soon. Thanks for your company, and I'll try and adjust the volume and get it dialed in a wee bit better for the next time. See you again soon.